Alexandra Beakley, and I'm redoing my Composition Unit 8 speech on chemotherapy or medical marijuana. Would you rather have your cancer completely gone, or would you have it just shrunk? Have you a loved one suffered from cancer and took chemotherapy or radiation to try to heal it? Many people think that marijuana is just a drug and harm people get it. True, but it is also used for medical purposes as well, to heal a lot of things. So which do you think is the monster here? I'm going to be talking about why medical marijuana should be legal in the United States and why chemotherapy should be illegal. There are two ways to be fooled. One is to believe what isn't true, and the other is to refuse to believe what is true. Soren Kierkegaard said this. He was a philosopher and a famous poet. This is a great quote because this is what I'm going to be talking about today. Many people wish to believe that marijuana is good and chemo is bad, but nobody wants to believe that because they all believe the doctors. So this is what I'm going to be talking about today. Here's why. All across the nation, people take chemotherapy to help their cancer, but chemo is not helping. It's just shrinking the tumor, and when it comes back, it's going to be aggravated and stronger. It'll grow stronger and faster. Nobody wants that at all. They want to get rid of their cancer for good. They think it's kind of a natural thing that happens, when you eat bad foods, but it is true. Cancer starts when a healthy cell is damaged and starts to multiply out of control. Then the cell is damaged and it makes more and more and more and more damaged cells, and this is how you get cancer. That's not health reasons. It is health reasons, but you need a lot more than that, and marijuana will help a lot. The worst thing about chemotherapy and doctors is that when your child, or mostly your child, has cancer, and you don't want chemo, you don't want to take chemotherapy or radiation, then the government has the right to take your child away. So it belongs to the state now because you refuse to take chemotherapy. Isn't that wrong? That's really wrong. I think it is. So one of my inspiration leaders is Ty Bollinger. He traveled the whole world talking to doctors and about prescribing drugs and chemotherapy, and all the doctors came out and said that they wouldn't even give their own families these prescription drugs. So first of all, doctors don't even know anything about nutrition at all. They learned like an hour of nutrition, and then most of their time, out of like 8 to 10 years of medical school, they learned about prescribing drugs. And then, so prescription drugs are really just to mask your main problems, but then it makes more problems, and then they prescribe more drugs to mask those problems, and then it's just, before you know it, you're taking 50 drugs a day, just masking your problems. Wouldn't you want to get rid of your problems? All the problems like knee pain, and then all of a sudden you have lung cancer. That isn't helping at all. So it's not really the doctor's fault. It's the teachers that teach all these doctors. And it actually got started in the early 1900s when Rockefeller wanted to earn way more money. So he created the FDA, Federal Discrimination Administration, to prescribe drugs to people so then you can mask your problems, but then it makes a greater problem. And they're trying to max that as well. So this all started a long time ago, and it's not our fault today, but it's getting worse and worse and worse. So medical marijuana, it's really, 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 really good. Really good. And a lot of people use it to smoke and get high and everything, but it's actually good for medical purposes as well. So it's legal in 24 states. Why not 50? Because all people are scared of legalizing it in all 50, because some people are just terrified and they don't want to. It's terrible. So my purpose is we should legalize marijuana for medical purposes to help so many people. And I knew a friend that she had cancer, and she took chemotherapy, and it was getting worse. She had her hair falling out, her nails were brittle, but then she took cannabis oil made from medical marijuana, and it healed her automatically. Really, it made her feel better really fast, and it just made her feel better. And then in like 6 months, she was totally cured of her cancer, and the doctors were shocked because they didn't know. They thought the chemotherapy is terrible, but they thought that's what it was. So then they start telling people about it, and that's not it. So, and chemotherapy is the worst thing in the world to take. It is. It'll kill you. It'll just shrink your tumor, but it'll also kill all the other cells that are important and that are good for you and that kill your immune system. So, I think we should legalize marijuana and make chemotherapy illegal. Thank you.